I said from the beginning, this is going to the Supreme Court, I said from the beginning, I am willing to go to prison to settle this issue. I'm willing to do that. But I also know that the likelihood of me going to prison is relatively small because we are right on this issue. And you know how I know that? The Department of Justice told us so in memos that span more than 50 years. So you put yourself in my shoes. I go into the White House in 2017. For 3 years, I helped the president create hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs during the pandemic. Every one of you here used masks, gloves, thermometers. Many of you got vaccinated. Many of you used things like remdesivir or monoclonal antibodies. I helped do that. I did. I was one of the guys in the White House. I was one of the guys in the White House early on, February 2020, writing memos say, this is serious, we got to get off the dime. And what do I get for that? Prison. I get a House of Representatives controlled by Nancy Pelosi trying to put me in prison. Why? Because I'm a Trump guy. And I get a Biden White House and a Biden Department of Justice with the Merrick Garland running it, running a part. Is anybody listening? Anybody want to tell me that I would be here if Republicans had held the House or President Trump was in the office? No.
Peter Navarro was just convicted of the crime of contempt of Congress, and liberals are way too happy.
I can't help but ask, is this one of the stupidest, most pointless crimes ever committed by anyone? Even if Navarro wanted to obstruct the investigation, he could have just hired a lawyer for the week, pleaded the fifth to every question. He'd be well within his constitutional rights to do so. Others did it. And now he wouldn't be facing prison time. Because even as Navarro pledges to appeal, this was obviously such an open and shut case. The trial only lasted about 2 days. The jury only deliberated for a few hours. Probably a few hours too long, actually.
And conservatives are way too upset. This is all overreaction. Let me explain. Why is this conviction not a big deal at all? First of all, it's not as serious as it sounds. Contempt of Congress is a misdemeanor. There are two classes of crimes, misdemeanors and felonies. Felonies can result in long prison sentences, while misdemeanors often result in short sentences, or often simply reduced to fines. Basically a slap on the wrist that says, don't do that again. Contempt of Congress is a misdemeanor with a maximum fine of $100,000 and up to 1 year in prison. Well, that sounds pretty serious, right? Until you put it in context. Steve Bannon, the former president's chief strategist, was convicted of the same crime. What was his sentence? 4 months in jail and a fine of $6,400. In the jail, first of all, he's appealing, which will take months, if not years. And second, if he does go to jail, he's not going to make me a shank and stuff drugs up your butt jail. No, he'll be going to a minimum security facility called a federal prison camp, or FPC. These facilities are nicer than some people's homes. Some have pools, sports leagues, extensive library, and you can even get a job outside of the facility. You heard me right. While you're in prison, you don't even have to be in prison. You can get a job cutting grass or being a gardener or some other sort of work on a military base or at some other very nice facility where there are women. Yes, you can be in jail and still see the opposite sex. I don't know about you, but that's better than most of my buddies are doing now. So it's not bad at all. Furthermore, since he's not being convicted as a felon, he can serve in government again if he so chooses, or go back to the private sector and enjoy his life. So why was he convicted in the first place? Basically, he was convicted on a technicality. Look, Congress has the right to subpoena witnesses. Now, Peter Navarro, Dr. Peter Navarro, a once well-respected economist who by all accounts was an economist for the working man, was subpoenaed by Congress when they were investigating the insurrection/events, choose your term of preference, of January 6th. Now, when Congress subpoenas you, it's like jury duty. You can go and try to get out of it. You can hire a lawyer to help you get out of it. You can go and be uncooperative, but you have to go. You have to. Dr. Navarro wasn't the only person in the Trump administration to be subpoenaed and didn't want to cooperate. But the difference between him and the other members of the administration was that they hired lawyers, had their lawyers negotiate with the committee's staff, and limited the number and scope of questions based on negotiations. They basically showed up and checked the box, just like jury duty. Peter Navarro didn't go at all. He didn't answer them, he didn't show up, he didn't have a lawyer to negotiate, nothing. That's illegal. Congress clearly has the long-established right to subpoena witnesses. So when Dr. Navarro didn't even show up and provided no answer and no response at all, that's disrespect. That's contempt. Now, Dr. Navarro is different from any old witness that Congress subpoenas. He was a presidential senior advisor. And as a presidential senior advisor, he does enjoy executive privilege, meaning a right to refuse to answer questions because it would be the legislature interfering with the inner workings of another branch of government. And Dr. Navarro was absolutely right in claiming that he had that right. The thing about executive privilege is that you actually have to show up and assert it. You can't email it in. You can't dial it in. You have to show up, preferably with a lawyer, and assert it. Dr. Navarro didn't do that, and so he wasn't allowed to assert in court as a defense because the fact was that he never answered the subpoena at all. Now, Dr. Navarro wants to appeal because he says he's being persecuted, and he might be right. The government is clearly going after anyone associated with January 6th or the potential overturning of the election results. This is absolutely true.
Showed up!
Where's the rest of everybody? There's not enough of us. They're going to bring vets in or something.
Is this the city?
Where the fuck are they? Where are they?
While we're here, we might as well set up a government.
Hey, let's take a seat, people! Let's take a seat!
Hey, Nancy Pelosi.
Let's vote on some shit!
Where the fuck is Nancy?
However, they're not really going after him. And if they're not trying too hard. Sure, they are trying to embarrass him, as having him arrested by FBI agents with guns drawn wasn't really necessary. But the government has all kinds of tools if they really want to put you through the ringer. A misdemeanor charge in connection to possibly trying to stage an alleged full-fledged coup? If that's all he's going to get hit with, Peter Navarro isn't going through the ringer. He's not even wet. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and leave a comment below. If you have a question or a comment, let me know how you feel, and I'll try to answer any questions that you have. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you all, and so take it easy. Peace.